We're back to the US midterm elections now. To tell us more about what to expect, here's Professor Bates Gill. He's the CEO of the US Studies Centre at the University of Sydney. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks.
So firstly, how close a race do you expect this to be?
Well, actually not very close. I mean, I think it's pretty clear the Republicans are going to gain a majority. The real issue is how big of a majority. It's going to be probably by at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 seats, up to 54 seats probably for the Republicans. So I think, in sheer numbers, it's going to be seen by and large as a win for the Republicans, and likely they'll take control of the Senate.
Okay, but commentators are saying that we're now seeing a Republican wave emerging. Is that right?
I'm not sure that's so accurate. I mean, there are a lot of distinctive aspects of the midterms that make some of these seats easier wins for the Republicans, not really indicative of a wave. Many of the states where these particular Senate races are being contested are already conservative states, so it's likely to go Republican. Some of the Democrats who are incumbents in those states sort of came in on the coattails of Barack Obama 6 years ago, in 2008. They're already in red states. They're going to have a tough time anyway. People like in Louisiana and in Arkansas, Democratic senators now are going to go. But more importantly, if it was really a Republican wave, then those sort of solid Democratic states would also be wavering, but they're not. So New Hampshire, Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, they're all going to go with the Democratic senators in this election.
But how much will this be a vote on President Barack Obama's performance, even though he's going at the end?
It's a very important factor, and we can't discount it. I mean, there's good data out there that show that the degree of a presidential popularity during midterms can have a negative impact, especially the lower the rating, on his party's candidates. So it's a factor.
The U.S. economy is picking up. Is that going to be a growing feather in both Obama and the Democrats' cap?
Potentially. I think, if this can continue, the relatively good economic news over the next couple of years, then yes, that's no doubt going to have some impact on the presidential contest in 2016. But in spite of the gains for the American economy, I think there's still a sense of, certainly in the middle class and those worse off, that those gains aren't being felt by them. And that's why it's being reflected this way at the polls.
What about voter turnout? That's expected to be pretty low, isn't it?
That's another factor here. Midterm turnout is usually low to begin with, and it tends to be white and older in the demographic space. So sort of the Obama coalition, if you will, or the typical voter for Democrats, people of color, younger people, they don't turn out at midterms in such high numbers.
Looking ahead to the presidential vote then, 2016, who are we going to hear from? Will Hillary Clinton throw a hat into the ring? Jeb Bush also has been another name that's been cited.
Well, on the Democratic side of things, it's pretty clear. I mean, I think Hillary's got the open space here. She may have some competition in the primaries, but it seems that that's a pretty solid prediction. Much harder to say on the Republican side. We're going to see the primaries come through. There's going to be a lot of contestation of that. We'll see the divisiveness that's so prevalent within the Republican Party come to the fore. It's going to damage whoever is the final candidate, much as it did Mitt Romney in the previous election. So I think it's way too early to predict Jeb Bush at this point.
Okay. So in the States, the vote is today. When's the result going to be known?
Well, it could be quite early, especially if the margin of victory is large. A couple of the states, there are going to be quite close races in 2 or 3 of them, and so they may have to wait for a longer count or even a runoff. But I think we'll have a pretty clear sense that the Republicans have the majority by the end of Election Day.
Bates Gill, thank you.
Thank you.